Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Cisco D, aka Mr. Flow So Nice, aka Matiba Totle, because you already know, man, I talk too much, and I'm back with you with another one today, man. And today, we're discussing a matter that I've discussed before. For those of you that don't know, there's been this constant back and forth between some of the ambitious artists with Emtee. And basically, it involves Java, Cruz, and basically Emtee. But more specifically today, we'll be discussing Emtee. And for those of you that want to just know more about the topic, I'll just drop a link on the description, and you guys can just go watch the video and, you know, have your own take on what you think about it. But basically, Bafetu, you can imagine my surprise yesterday, basically on Twitter. Basically Emtee hit me up, basically just telling me that, you know what, Cruz Afrika, which is, I spoke about it on that other video, who basically came out to vent at first that Emtee and them actually now think that he didn't contribute to them actually getting to the position that they're in. He didn't contribute to them being successful. And basically, man, the beef has just been going on back and forth from there, and basically now it's backed away basically from Saudi and it's Java and more onto Emtee straight up. And basically he just hit me up yesterday, and for those of you that don't know, these are things I didn't cover. But basically there was a point whereby they were challenging each other to a boxing match. Cruz Afrika was telling him he's gonna beat his ass, and Emtee was telling him that, well, you know what, I'm also gonna beat you up. It's just been too much, man. I'm not gonna put up all those tweets, but I'm basically gonna put these up, basically of what I'm gonna talk about today in my conversation with Emtee and Cruz Afrika yesterday. I'm gonna put that up, and you guys can basically have your take on it. So basically, Emtee hits me up yesterday and basically says, you know what, dog, this man Cruz Afrika, basically, after saying all these things, he's gonna beat me up, he's gonna, knock me out and all of that. By the way, I find it hilarious, man. I can't imagine Emtee in a boxing match with someone. But basically, they were saying they were gonna put up 100K each. Emtee, basically refused that. And basically, it's just been that. So he hit me up yesterday to tell me that Cruz Afrika has actually called the cops on him. And, I went on to actually speak to them to say, you know what, man, it doesn't make sense for you to basically call the cops on someone you've been promising to beat up for weeks. So did you call the cops on them? And basically Cruz Afrika responded by saying maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He was first willy-nilly about the matter, but he eventually got to the whole gist of it to say, you know what, he actually did call the cops. And I actually asked both of them why did Cruz Afrika call the cops on Emtee, and basically the response from both. Firstly, with Cruz Afrika, he says that the reason that he called the cops on Emtee was because Emtee sent him a VN at 4 a.m. and Emtee has no rights to send him a VN at 4 a.m. I don't know. But and basically Emtee's response is good. You know what? I sent him a VN, and I sent him that VN telling him I'm gonna beat his ass. I was trying to call him and he didn't pick up, and I sent him a VN telling him I'm gonna beat him up. And basically this nigga just went out and called the cops on me. I told Cruz Afrika, and I'm gonna say it again. Basically my take on this, Bafetu, is it's very, very, very like a weird beef and very corny, because I explained the fact that it doesn't make sense for you as Cruz Afrika to be going blow by blow with Emtee, telling him you're gonna beat him up, telling him you're gonna mess him up, and even go as far as dropping a diss track. By the way, Cruz Afrika dropped a diss track on Emtee. Speaking a lot of stuff, even speaking on his son. Can you imagine that? And about speaking on his son, speaking on his son, which his son might not be his and all of that. I put up the song on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna drop a link also in the description. You guys can check it out and tell me what you think. But basically, it was the fact that, you've been talking to this man, you've been dissing this man, you've been going against him. And then when he actually responds, which is, I would also respond like that. If you spoke about my son on a song and you told me you were going to beat me up, and I would definitely respond by saying, you know what, I'm going to mess you up now. And basically for you to call the cops doesn't make sense, because if you wanted to do everything by the law from the get-go, you guys should have just called each other and spoken. If you guys didn't want, I don't know, you can't tell me you're going to beat me up and then come back again and call the cops. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to beat me up and if you're telling me to pull up and do all of that, pull up. You know what I mean? But if you want to go the legal route, then say, you know what, I'm not going to pull up unless we have a legal boxing match. But when they were talking about going to the trap house party and whatever, Cruz Afrika was on some tip of, you know what, I'm going to beat you up. You know what, I'm going to break you. You know you can't fight me like that. And like I said, I can't imagine Emtee fighting, but you know, he definitely talks like a real gangster when he's on Twitter, so we don't know. But Buffett, I just want to know your take on this. I actually thought it was very corny of Cruz Afrika to actually call the cops on Emtee, especially after all these weeks of dissing him and saying stuff against him and all of that. But it was well in his right. So I also told him that it was well in his right to actually call the cops because, you know, I'm guessing, I don't know, I don't even know, is it illegal for somebody to call you at 4 a.m. and tell you they're going to beat you up? But as a threat, maybe it is illegal, and it was well in his right to call the cops. But yeah, I couldn't find any record of whether Emtee got arrested or not, or whether this incident did 100% happen, except for the two men and what the two men told me. So I want to just hear your views. I want to just hear your comments. What do you think about this? Do you really think that it was necessary? If not, comment and definitely subscribe. And Buffett, to hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Instagram. It's at Tusco D, at Tusco D the King on Instagram. Awesome. Now wait, Emtee, I know you want to go, but click that red button and subscribe and put some respect on a young name, man. Awesome.